Hello and welcome. This will be a reading for Virgo for October 2023. Welcome to the table, Virgo. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. I'll be doing a 10-card spread today, and I'll be talking about those cards, and then I'll be overlaying them with a second deck of cards. And once again, I'll talk about those cards. I do have an oracle deck on the table, and I will draw you an oracle at the end of the reading. You don't need to stay for that oracle. The reading will be totally complete in itself, so the oracle is just a bonus for those of you who want it. The flowers are from my garden and the crystals have been in their salt bath. I do hope you enjoy it. Let's start the reading. I'll just cut the deck and we'll begin. Okay, 9 of Swords in the upright position, 6 of Cups in the reverse position, 3 of Pentacles in the reverse position, Page of Cups in the upright position, 7 of Cups in the reverse position. Okay, we've got Strength in the upright position, the Chariot in the reverse position, 9 of Cups in reverse position, the Emperor in the reverse position, and the 4 of Wands in the reverse position. And on the bottom of the deck, what have we got? Okay, we've got the World in the reverse position. An awful lot of reverse cards, but don't worry, I read the cards as I see them. They don't always give off negative energy just because they're in the reverse position. And the reverse aspect can sometimes just mean delays. So there is no cause for alarm here just because there's a whole lot of reverse cards. And here we've got the World. So look, I'll start with this one because the World is this energy of a rebirth, starting all over again, having completed a cycle, and you know you've had some all different elements coming towards you in this last cycle, and you're starting a new one. You're starting fresh, but there's a delay here, so possibly there's a delay. There's also this sense of victory with this because it's a great achievement. This is normally portrayed as a bit of a wreath, and there's a lot of potential here for the next stage of your cycle. So a new cycle brings you new potential. You've already fulfilled this cycle and there's no more to complete in that. We've got the 9 of Swords here. So the 9 of Swords, as you can see, a little bit of anxiety, worries, nightmares, fears. And for me, I'm feeling the word fears. So I do think you have some fears of some sort, and I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But sometimes they're more a state of mind, and we don't always have control over that state of mind. Just be aware that possibly these are fears that are unfounded. Sometimes the fears that we have are just projections of the mind. It's just, especially if you're in a state of well-being or comfort, there's always this state of fear that perhaps that may not last. And sometimes when things are going quite well, then it's even more difficult to kind of believe that will continue. And so we have a natural tendency to fear. That is just our human condition. Here we've got the 6 of Cups, so it's also in the reverse position. Now this can be nostalgia and perhaps even wishing that things were different, perhaps wishing that you were younger, perhaps remembering the connections that you had. This can be remembering your school friends, your childhood, family or friends maybe who've passed over, and it's just a card of memories and remembering also when you were young and how you felt when you were young. So this is all to do with nostalgia and happiness and carefree, a carefree energy. So there could be this carefree energy around you, or there could be just this sense of nostalgia around you. We've got this 3 of Pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Again, this can be a contract. This is my contract card. Whenever I see this, I talk about contracts. It's about collaboration, working together as a team. So working in partnership with other people. So this can be a partnership, a contract, a business, something that you're working on, but you're not working on your own. And this can be something that you're working on so that later on you may have a sense of reward from what you're working on. You're anticipating that there will be a benefit from what you're working on. That can also be learning. So it can be any one of those things. Here we've got the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is looking in that cup for new love. He's not quite sure whether there's love there or whether that's just a fish. This is, there's some sort of waves in the background to sort of talk about emotional experiences from the past. Have they been good? This is he's looking at it. Everybody would like good emotional experiences. So there's potential here for a new emotional experience. And again, this is quite a youthful, young energy that comes off this card. So that could be sort of thinking very much again about a past experience. It's under the moon. So in this case, I'm feeling that perhaps it's more to do with a past emotional connection that you've had that you might be thinking about. Looking backwards, because he is facing in this direction, so that could be tied in with this Six of Cups. Here we've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, now the Seven of Cups is usually what I would say, be careful what you wish for, because we don't anticipate the consequences of the connections that we make, pardon me, and the steps that we take towards satisfying ourselves. Sometimes we aim to satisfy ourselves with moving house, changing friends, changing jobs. It can be any one of those things. We're never quite sure whether the outcome will be as positive as we anticipate. Often you start a new job and later on somebody says to you, how did that new job go? And you will say, well, it's not quite what I expected. So this can be wishful thinking, daydreams, or any one of those things. It's in the reverse, so I'm actually going to call it wishful thinking and daydreams. We have a little visitor here on the flowers. We'll just have to ignore him and hope he doesn't come our way. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Now we have strength. So we do have strength here. This is a very positive energy to have on your reading, because this is you gathering your internal strength. This is your conscious mind, your subconscious mind meshing together. This is knowing who you are, being strong in the world, not necessarily physically strong as such, but being strong as a person. So this is this is a sense of confidence, a positive energy. So that's quite a lovely card. And there's a sort of a victory in this as well. As you can see, there is the lemniscate here on the on the top here. You've got your infinity symbol. So anything is possible once you've gathered your strength. And so wearing the crown of victory, taming your inner demons and taming your fears, perhaps, because it's underneath this card that I suggested was more fears. So if you're able to tame your fears, able to keep yourself under control, that's a major, major victory. And then you have the benefit of being much more confident. Here we've got the Chariot. So the Chariot is driving your own wishes and projects and plans forward. It's in the reverse, so I feel that perhaps there's some sort of a delay rather in driving your projects forward, because this card is normally a card of determination, but paired next to the strength, it will show that when you are prepared to drive your chariot forward, you will go forward with strength and determination, and that you will be very focused on your projects. But it was in the reverse aspect, so I'll leave it there. And this also could be a decision that you need to make. Will I go this way or will I go that way? Nothing is black and white. Often these two animals at the front of the chariot are portrayed in black and white, but nothing is really black and white. And there's no such thing as a right decision or a wrong decision. We can make what we choose as being the best decision for ourselves at the time, but if someone else was driving that chariot, that might be a completely different decision. But for you, the potential for a decision, there'll be growth, there'll be fertility, either way you go. So this is something that you need to choose. But, gather your strength before you make a decision and before you start to drive your projects home. If you have got a project underway and you're not feeling very confident or very strong, then perhaps this is asking you to pause just a moment while you gather your strength. Here's the Nine of Cups. This is a sense of having achieved everything that you could possibly wish for. Now, this cat doesn't look particularly excited about holding those cups. So I guess there's also that being, you know, he's looking sort of a little bit disappointed in all the things that he wished for. So it's in the reverse aspect. So perhaps even if you have got everything that you wish for, perhaps you're not showing sufficient gratitude for everything that has come your way. Because that's about the only thing I can say about this cat. Because, you know, if you are holding many good things and you have lots of acquaintances and lots of friendships and connections and you're in good health and you have a home, then you need to express your gratitude, or you need to at least be aware of all the good things that surround you. Not having sufficient gratitude can shut down the flow of energy coming towards you. We've got the Emperor here in the reverse aspect. Now the Emperor is normally quite controlling. He's very, very capable of achieving exactly what he wants. He's able to give directions. He's able to focus himself. He's able to build an empire if he so chooses. It's in the reverse aspect. So the negative aspects of the Emperor card would be that you're a little bit too controlling. Now, you may just be controlling of your own energy. You may have too many rigid rules and regulations, too many, well, if it's raining today, I'm not doing this. If I haven't got $20 in my pocket, I can't afford to buy lunch. If, you know, my back hurts this morning, I can't move today. So if there's no food in the fridge, I can't possibly eat. These are sort of like rigid rules, and they're a little, the ones I've given you are perhaps a little bit crazy, but examples of rigid rules, things that hold you back. So don't allow your rules and regulations and these are self-imposed rules and regulations rather than external rules and regulation. Don't allow your self-imposed rules and regulations or your system in which you operate your life, so the method in which you operate your life, don't be too rigid in that. Allow the energy to flow a little bit more. You don't always need to have everything under total and absolute control. So there's that wonderful energy there that, you know, there again, there's that egg on the bottom here. So that's again talking about potential. Don't sit on that potential waiting for the exact perfect moment, if there is no such thing as an exact perfect moment. Sometimes we need to open ourselves up a little bit to allow the energy to flow a little bit better. Here we've got the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is often about marriage, about family. It's definitely about stability. It can be about moving into a new venture, as you can see there, both holding the flame in the middle of the two wands. So this can be like a little bit of a portal where the energy is, you know, between the things that are holding us back, between our stability, there might be new energy arriving that you might want to embrace and take hold of so that you can prosper with that new energy. So this is also the potential perhaps to move home. For those of you who are interested in moving home or selling a home, this is showing that there's a little bit of energy here put in towards your home life and building a stable life around you. So in the reverse aspect, I'm thinking that perhaps there's this little bit of worry and anxiety perhaps about your home or your stability, but there's not much else on the card. Certainly there are no pentacles here that look like there's going to cause any sort of problems to your home or your stability. So this might be more of putting energy into your home. So if you're feeling a little bit low and you're not quite yourself, then perhaps you need to wait until you're a little bit stronger. A little bit of a strange reading, but so far that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to use Dancing in the Dark, and we'll see how we go. These cards have been extremely well shuffled. We'll do a second layer and we'll see what the cards have got to say for us. Okay, I'll split the deck, split it there. Now, okay, that's the Devil. So the Devil with your fears, perhaps that's, I'll talk about that in a little while. Here we've got the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Swords in reverse. So the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse. If you can hear beeping in the background, that's my oven. It's the Hermit. What is this one? This is the Emperor. Again, the Emperor in reverse. So you've got that twice. Okay. What have we got here? We've got the Magician. Sorry, the cards are always a bit difficult if they're in the reverse position. 10 of Cups, beautiful, happiness, wonderful. Temperance, that's healing. Ace of Swords. And the Page of Cups. Okay. Lovely. All right, I think you had the Page of Cups here. Yes, you did. You've got the Page of Cups twice. So that is, that again, that youthful energy, thinking about love. Let's have a look what we've got there. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, you're working on something that's giving you satisfaction. So perhaps your projects are giving you satisfaction. Perhaps the job that you do is where you're working to bring in your money. Whatever it is giving you satisfaction. This card talks about enjoying what you're doing. Okay, so it's in the upright position. So I assume you're not really interested in changing jobs at the moment because there looks like there's this satisfaction with what you're doing. And that's a very positive thing to have. When you're enjoying the work that you're doing and the projects that you're putting your energy into, that gives you a great deal of inner satisfaction that you're not wasting your life. If you were in a state of feeling unhappy about where you were investing your energy, then it would be time for you to change. And there's sometimes, if it was in the reverse aspect, then that would be talking about a reluctance to change and accept the reality of the fact that you were dissatisfied. But here, it's plainly showing that you're happy doing what you're doing. Now we've got the Nine of Swords and we've got the Devil. The Devil on top is talking about your mental thoughts, then perhaps your fears can be a state of being, or this can be just your thoughts locking you into something. So when you've got the Devil there, it's telling me that you're expending too much energy on something. And in this case, perhaps your thoughts are holding you back. Somehow that your thoughts are holding you back, maybe not allowing you to live your best life. So the Devil energy there is telling me that there's some reason that you're mentally trapped and that's holding you back. So maybe you can identify what that is, and that can be any kind of mental aspect that is holding you back. I won't talk further on that. So something you're putting too much energy into, or something that is repressing you, or maybe you're allowing someone else's thoughts to repress you. So that could also be the case. Now we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse on top of the Six of Cups. So there's this nostalgia card and there's this Eight of Cups. Now the Eight of Cups, as you can see, is turning your back on something and walking away. But that may be something that you've considered. It's under the moon here. So perhaps there was a sense of disappointment with your connections, or you felt that you weren't being given enough love and attention. I'm not quite sure. But here, there's this sense of wanting to walk away. The fact that it's in reverse, perhaps you've decided not to walk away. Perhaps you are coming more into the light. When we're in a negative state of mind, for example, and if our fears are grabbing hold of us, we can't always see the good and wonderful things that we have around us, and particularly with connections. But here the moon is shown with the sun peeping out in the background. So once you walk out into the light again, and if you come out of that dark space, then you take it, then the cups themselves, the gold on the cups will start to shine, and you'll become more aware of the good things that you have in your life. So I think this may be something that you've considered, but I don't think you're going to go ahead with that. Now here we've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. So that was interesting that I always called the Three of Pentacles my contract card. So here is this Queen of Swords. So making sure that if you are investigating a contract, that you think very clearly about it, that you speak your mind about it. So the Queen of Swords is always about speaking your mind, being analytical, having clear thinking, listening to your intuition. That's why the bird is on the card. So listening to your intuition and being very clear and precise about what you're wanting to say. So it's in the reverse aspect. So it could be that you are not thinking clearly enough, or you're not taking sufficient time to be precise. Or it could be also an indication, a little bit like this Emperor that was in the reverse aspect, that you're being overly critical or overly precise. You know, that you could be sort of spending too much attention on the fine details and not allowing yourself to move on. You're sort of micromanaging yourself. That could be the case as well. Now here we've got the Hermit. So the Hermit is a time of introspection, a time of going quietly within yourself and looking at what it is that's important to you, what's important to your soul, what's important to your way of life, what is it you hope to achieve, what is it you'd like to do before you are called back to your maker. What are your values? What are the things that drive you forward and that give you strength and courage and that make you the person you are? And what is it that makes you shine your light? Okay, so this is a period of not taking action, putting down the staff, and not moving forward, and just sitting and thinking and being, a little bit introspective about what it is you want in your life. Now, that's on top of the Knave of Cups. So I think perhaps, this could be you thinking about your emotional connections and what you want and how they contribute to your well-being and how many more connections you want and what it is you crave from those connections. These are all aspects that you need to consider while you have a little bit of a quiet pause, and a little bit of introspection. Now here we've got the Emperor in reverse again. So again, we've got this little bit of Seven of Cups, being careful what you wish for. And I'll hold the card up because it's always good to look at the card yourself, because you may, if your focus is drawn to one particular aspect of this card, then it's trying to tell you something. I'll take a look at the card too. So he's sitting there with great confidence, very much the alpha male. So this is, very much in his own strength. But the alpha male does not always consider other people's wishes. This is always, when there's an alpha male in the room, this alpha male wants to take control. They want to express their opinion. They want to do what they want to do. They don't care how much space they take up in the room. They are just a little bit overly focused on their control and what they want. There's not necessarily a good sense of balance. Now, a good emperor can rule without inflicting misery on the subjects or the people that he rules. So there's this need for you to perhaps be a little bit more gentle in your life, because you've got the Emperor twice, so maybe not needing to be quite so controlling. And that sounds very negative, but sometimes we just control ourselves too tightly. I have done it myself, so I'm not being critical of you. Sometimes we just hold ourselves too tightly. We want everything under control, and it's not always easy to have everything under control. Now here we've got the Magician. It's in the reverse. So again, we've got this. It's very, very interesting. We've got the lemniscate twice. So you've got, we've got this infinity symbol, or the lemniscate, shown twice here. Anything is possible. You've got the two on top of one another. So it's definitely confirming that anything is possible. You have within you all the tools and all the aspects of your abilities that lie within you to create whatever is possible once you focus your energy. Now, the fact that you've got the Emperor here twice tells me that you're quite capable of controlling your mind and your environment and driving yourself. Also, the fact that you've got the Chariot is telling me that you're able to drive yourself to those projects when you want to focus, but be careful you don't drive yourself too hard, or that you focus too tightly and that then holds you back because you overcome by the many aspects that are required that need to be tied off before you start something. So don't overthink something, don't over control something. Anything is possible. This is extremely positive energy here. So don't overthink, don't overthink things, don't allow your fears to hold you back, don't allow your anxiety to hold you back, because anything is possible. And you have the Emperor, so that is showing that you do have that capacity to control whatever it is you need to control. Here you've got the Ten of Cups with your family. Now that's interesting that it's under the Eight of Cups, where you may have considered walking away. I'm perhaps feeling that your family wasn't giving you, your family and your connections weren't giving you the emotional satisfaction or the emotional rewards that you were hoping for. But here we've got the Ten of Cups. This is happiness with your family. This is happiness in your life. This is a state of well-being and joy and being able to express yourself emotionally, being able to receive emotionally. So this is very, very positive energy. So this is about home, stability, family, and enjoying what's around you, being grateful for what's around you. Here we've got Temperance on top of the Nine of Cups. Like I said, there was this potential that you weren't expressing your gratitude. Well, here is this beautiful angel coming down, and she is pouring down healing, or he or she is pouring down healing on your life. So this is allowing the energy to flow, allowing love to be received, love to be given. This is an openness. So the flow is an expression of gratitude. So this is healing at its very best and gratitude at its very best. Here we have the Ace of Swords. So this can be a definitive legal breakthrough. This can be a very definitive statement. This can be cutting away everything that you don't want in your life. This is quite a sharp energy. So this can tell me, because it's on top of the Emperor in reverse. So the Emperor in reverse with this energy of the Ace of Swords, that can be a little bit alarming, because perhaps you're a little bit cutting in your remarks sometimes, that perhaps you're hurting people without being aware of it. But the Ace of Swords is very clear thinking, being highly analytical, and being extremely intuitive, and also making a clear breakthrough. So cutting away the rubbish. You do have that ability, Virgo, to cut away all the extraneous rubbish and to focus very, very sharply on what it is you want to focus on. So that is quite positive, strong energy here. And it's also about speaking your mind strongly, making sure your opinion is heard. But be careful, because you're on top of this Emperor in reverse. And because you've got the Emperor twice, like I said, don't let your opinion be the only opinion in the room. Now we've got here this Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, I beg your pardon. So this is this wishing for this love to flow freely, perhaps wishing for youthful love to come towards you, an expressive love to come towards you. This can be a sort of a card of sentiment as well. So perhaps you're a little bit sentimental. You've got the nostalgia card. You're very focused here on your cups. So perhaps there's an element of sentimentality, nostalgia, looking back to how you were when you were young, wanting that love to flow towards you, like a new love. So this is actually very much that energy of youthful energy of love. So being expressive and joyous and open with your love, like when you've just met someone and your heart is completely filled with love, and you're ready to receive and you're ready to give. So that's that beautiful energy there. So that's very nice. I hope you've got something from this reading. Remember, I'm not being critical when I talk about things like the Emperor. I'm just showing you or highlighting to you what the cards are trying to say, and what the aspects of that card are indicating to me. And in the reverse, the Emperor, that control can be a little bit too much. And so particularly here that it's showing with the swords on the top, then that highly critical ability that Virgos have, you need to be careful that that doesn't dictate your life to the point where you become so focused on the small things that you can't move forward. Anyway, let's do the tarot reading for those the oracle reading. For those of you who are happy just with the tarot reading, you don't need to stay for the oracle. And if so, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. I'll just do a bit of a shuffle here with these oracle cards, and then we'll draw one and see if there's any more information the cards want to give you. And I'll split the deck. I might split them towards the top. No, I don't feel that's right. Okay, we'll take this one. Okay, fulfillment. Well, this is beautiful. So I do feel that you're going to have this fulfillment. That I do feel that you will find what you're looking for in your cup. This is allowing the energy to flow in a beautiful, free-flowing way, expressing yourself openly as well, Virgo. So I've had readings in the past for you where it seemed as though you weren't expressing your emotions fully. So once you are able to express your emotions more fully and open yourself up to love, opening your heart, then you will receive this fulfillment that you desire. Because I do think there's this element of sentimentality here, and I think you want your heart to be totally full of love, and it is possible, but you also need to open your heart and express yourself, because with love there has to be a measure of equal give and take. So there's this beautiful card of fulfillment for you. Thank you so much for watching, Virgo. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.